What's up, football fanatics? Fellow football fanatic, Mr. Octagon here from Octagon Gaming. Now, last episode we talked about what the Philadelphia Eagles should do in this year's NFL Draft. Next episode we're going to be talking about the Minnesota Vikings, who did not have a first-round pick, should do in this year's NFL Draft. But today's team is the Arizona Cardinals, so make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So, the Cardinals are an interesting team. 2015-16, they looked like legitimate contenders, one of the best teams in the NFL. They made it to the NFC Championship but got clobbered by the Panthers. And that team really looked like a legitimate threat. Carson Palmer had a great year. David Johnson at running back is blossoming into one of the NFL's best young running backs. And the Honey Badger, Patrick Peterson, holding down the secondary. That team really looked like a really good team. But last year, while they were still second in the West sucked because the Ravens and the 49ers are terrible. They finished like 7-9 or something, 8-8 in that range. Missed the playoffs and are picking here. So, even if Carson Wentz, have I said Carson Wentz yet? Because I just made the Eagles episode. Oh, jeez. Carson Palmer. Oh, jeez. Oh, my goodness. I just made the Eagles episode right before this one. Like, I don't know if I'm going to upload it right before it, but I just made it. I am really sorry. So, quarterback. If Carson Palmer, won MVP last year, or if he got injured week 1 and tore his ACL, either way, the Cardinals will be looking for a quarterback with this pick. Now, Mitchell Trubisky will not make it to 13. If he does, I will jump off a cliff naked. That's what I said about the chances of Leonard Fournette making it to 14 last episode. Any other quarterback, I'm not gonna say if they make it to 13, I'm jumping off a cliff naked. I would not be surprised if they took a quarterback one bit, and I honestly think they should. My mock draft, I don't think I did. I may have. Wait, no, I didn't. I forget who I had them taking, but they did not take a quarterback. So, Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes, maybe even Deshaun Kaiser. All three of them will be great picks for the Cardinals. My favorite personally is Deshaun Watson, but you can say Patrick Mahomes or maybe even Deshaun Kaiser. Okay, running back, they don't need a running back. Receiver. John Brown and Larry Fitzgerald are two pretty darn good receivers, but Larry Fitzgerald's getting up there in age. So, they could get some new receivers maybe. Mike Williams from Clemson. Corey Davis, a big physical human being from Western Michigan. And John Ross, the speedster from Washington, who of course ran a 4.22. For them, I like Mike Williams a lot. I think he would benefit the best of going to Arizona. Tight end, yeah, that's ugly. O.J. Howard, I don't think will be available at 13. David Njoku, that might be a little high for him at 13. But I do really like David Njoku. But as I said, 13 might be a little high for him. Offensive line, that team could definitely use offensive line. My favorite in this year's class is Forrest Lamp, guard from Western Kentucky. I've said this in about 10 of my episodes, but he reminds me so much of Zach Martin. He will blossom into a beautiful little butterfly just like Zach Martin did. Defense. Defensive line, yeah, I think the Cardinals could use some defensive linemen. Maybe Takk McKinley from UCLA or Taco Charlton from Michigan. Two very solid pass rushers. They would both be great for this team. As Calais Campbell signed with the Jaguars this offseason, so yeah. Linebackers, they could use a linebacker. Kevin Minter is, Darrell Washington, I don't even know if he's still on the team. Yeah, they could use a linebacker. Reuben Foster, I don't think will be available at 13, and if he is, the Cardinals really need to think about drafting him. But what about Hassan Reddick? Hassan Reddick's one of my favorite players from this year's draft. He is a freak of nature. He'll be excellent for this Cardinals team. Cornerback, they don't really need a cornerback. The Honey Badger can play point guard. Jeez Louise. He can play cornerback, and Patrick Peterson is a cornerback. Like secondary, cornerbacks or safeties, that's not their biggest issue. They could use another one. They just lost Tony Jefferson this past offseason. But I don't see them taking Marlon Humphrey or Garyon Conley, who are the only two secondary players, defensive backs, who are worthy of being taken here and will not be taken because Marshawn Lattimore, Jamal Adams, and Malik Hooker will all be gone. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, next episode we're going to talk about what Vikings should do this year's NFL draft. Peace out, everybody.